News Radio 1080 KRLD.
Thank you so much for staying with us. It is 10:50. I'm David Rankin. This portion of the news for Texans Can Cars for Kids. No doubt a lot of emotional trauma following the shootings in Las Vegas. And the question is, how do the survivors cope? More than 500 people are wounded, and some people managed to escape. And it's trauma for everyone, not only physical trauma, but mental trauma. We go now live to the KRLD Newsline. Shannon Walker heads up Northwest Battle Buddies. They provide free service dogs for veterans with PTSD. Shannon, thank you so much for the time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on your show.
What is the difference between the PTSD that these survivors in Vegas will eventually face versus what soldiers come back with?
You know, PTSD is PTSD, in my experience. The fact is that anytime somebody experiences trauma that is, you know, a horrific event like the evil that was displayed in Vegas, and the fact is that the symptoms are all the same. You know, the hypersensitivity to crowds and noises and the anxiety and everything that comes along with that, the seclusion that it can progress into. You know, it's all the same in that. I mean, again, trauma is trauma, and it's just, I was thinking about that when I saw the news stories and we were watching it all happen on TV, and it's just unbelievable, so sad and so traumatic that what these people, their lives are changed forever because of what they experienced. You know, here in America where we are free and we have this blanket of safety that has been provided by our American heroes, but yet to have that happen on our own soil by a citizen or whatever the situation was with that gentleman, it's certainly not something that anybody, I mean, they were completely caught off guard. And, you know, that is exactly that kind of trauma is exactly where, you know, PTSD and the symptoms, and they're changed forever. It's very sad. What should people look for?
Will this be something that creeps up on them and they just don't know what it is?
I believe so. You know, just even the civilians that we've helped, you know, in Northwest Battle Buddies, we provide service dogs to combat veterans, but I've also provided dogs to civilians with PTSD that have had other kinds of trauma, you know, that they've experienced in their life, and they don't even realize what's happening. Sometimes they'll have it for years, and they just know that they're different, or their family members and the people close to them will see how they're different before they'll even see how they're different.
Untreated, what can happen to those people that have come down with PTSD and they don't know it and they don't know what to do?
Oh, isolation, seclusion, panic attacks, night terrors. You know, hypersensitivity to noises or crowds or places they used to feel completely comfortable in without even a care. Now they'll actually just subconsciously avoid those situations to try to find a way to feel safe. So they just won't put themselves in that situation, which diminishes their life and their freedom and independence. And so, you know, it's a combination of all that and sometimes even more. It can happen from smells that can trigger the PTSD, what happened in that moment, you know, the exact circumstances of that moment when the trauma happened.
Yeah.
It can be from sight, sounds, or smells also.
Shannon, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
You too. That's Shannon Walker from Northwest Battle Buddies.